Hello, I am Nirav Amrelia, and today in this video I am going to discuss the present life of the four characters that are present in the play A Dance of the Forest. Let me give you a brief introduction of the play. As the title goes, A Dance of the Forests is the play written by Sir Wole Soyinka. Sir Wole Soyinka is a Nigerian author, and he is the same person who has got a 1986 Nobel Prize in Literature. Okay, and the play he wrote, A Dance of the Forest, was first presented on the first, rather we can say, on the occasion of the Nigerian independence from the British rule, on the very date, on the very same date, very same year, like the 1st October 1960. So this play was first presented as the part of the celebration of the independence of the Nigeria on the 1st October 1960, and later on it was printed printed in 1963. Okay, so right now we are having this play, and this video I'm going to make is the part of the series of this play, wherein the students are given the task to apply various approaches to the play. The first one is the thematic concerns, the plot overview. So many things are there. In my part, the present life of the four characters. Okay, so let me before going there, let me give you the things like we are having these four characters: Adenabi, Egboreko, Dimok, and Rola. So how they are described by the author in the beginning of the play? Let us see that. So yes. Hmm. Characters, yeah. So as the play begins from Aroni or Aroni, the lame one, this testimony. She gives a brief account of the characters of who are linked with the two dead who are rising from the grave after being called upon by Aroni. Okay, so Aroni calls the two dead and how these two dead are linked with the present characters in their former life. Okay, so the first one is this. Yes. The most notorious of them is Rola. The most notorious of them is Rola. So, right now, Rola is a courtesan or a prostitute. Rather, there is a difference between a prostitute or a courtesan. So, prostitutes are lower paid workers, we can say, and sex workers, we can say, and courtesans are high paid sex workers. So, right now, Rola is a courtesan, and in her previous life or in her former life, she was the queen of Mata Kharib, the emperor. So, and her name was Madame Tortoise, Madame Tortoise, Madame Tortoise. So, right now she is a courtesan, and her name is Rola, Rola. Fine. And how she is being described by the spirit, that is Aroni. Let us see. The most notorious of them is Rola. Now, as before, a whore, and inevitably she has regained the name by which they knew her centuries before, Madame Tortoise. Fine. Now, the second character is coming. Who is that? Let us see. Another link of the two dead, another link of the two dead in the former life, in their previous lives, yes. Another link of the two dead with the present is Adenebi. So we are being introduced with the second character, that is Adenebi. 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 Okay. The court orator. So right now in this life he is serving as the court orator. The court orator is written here, oblivious to the real presence of the dead. In previous life, he was court historian. So in previous life, Adenebi, in his previous life, Adenebi was a court historian in the court of Mata Kharibu. Okay, he was a court historian in his previous life, Adenebi. And let us see. The third character is coming in front of us, and I must not forget that I is the Aroni, the spirit who called upon the two dead in the gathering of this tribe in the forest. So, and I must not forget. So she is telling that, and I must not forget Dimok, Demoke, Dimok, the carver. So now Dimok, we are having this character, and who is he, or rather, what occupation he possesses? That he is a carver who carves the beautiful things out of the woods, out of the wood, and especially he is having mastery over carving the totem out of the wood, or the biggest log of the wood, totem, Totem. So that thing, and in the other life. So it means in the other life, it means in the former life, in the previous life, he was a poet in the court of Mata Karibu. So he was a poet Yeah, yes, he was a poet in the court of Mata Karibu. So Mata Karibu was the emperor, and yes, and the last character, the fourth character, who is having some link, some connection with these two dead in their previous lives, is Egboreko. So let me spell it out. A G Agboreko. Agboreko. So his name is something. It seems like some reason. Agboreko. Egboreko. Okay. Now, in his life, in this present life, he is the elder of sealed lips, performed the rites and made sacrifices to forest head. Okay, see the character of Akbar. Now we can say, right now he is the head of sealed lips. Sealed lips, Sealed lips, sealed lips. So those people who are not having their own voice, or those who cannot express themselves properly, and how they, if they are feeling some injustice, some suffering, so they will tell their representative, that is Egboreko, in this life. So Egboreko will speak it out in the front of the court, or in the panel of the people who are sitting in the court, we can say. But right now, what we find is that Egboreko is not quite interested in what he is doing. Okay, so it has been the job of him now in this life. But what he was in the previous life in the court of Mata Khariri, that he was, yes, the elder performed, yes, his trade was the same in the court of Mata Karibu. So right now he is, what is trade he is having, that he is performing rites, rites, some rituals we can say, and he is, yes, sacrifices. So he is making sacrifices to the spirits of the forest. So when the gathering happens, all villagers come, all the tribal people come there, and the spirits are being called. Their elders, their dead, their forefathers are called. But what is happening that Aroni calls the two dead people, and now these two dead people are bringing the link between among these four characters in their present life as well as the previous life. So that is the thing. And for a trade, his trade was the same in the court of Matakari. Yes. So now we are getting introduced by these four characters. Now let us see the first character, how he is depicted by the author in this play. So we are having our first character, that is Adenebi, Adenebi. Let's go to it. Yes, from so it is the we can say advantage of the digital e-text, that we can search it out the reference of the characters. Okay. So here let us go. Yes, Adenebi. Yeah. So first thing is that the reference of Adenine here is coming 98 times in the whole play. Okay, so let us see how his dialogues are presented before the readers and the audience as well. Here, this interesting sequence between Obaneji, who is the human embodied spirit or the head of the all the spirits of the forest. So Obaneji asks Adenabi, "What position do you hold?" Upon which Adenabi becomes angry, and he tells, "Why? What do you imply by that?" Asking. Then Obaneji says, "Okay, but I find some favor from you." So and then he says, Adenary, that depends. I am only the official orator to the council, but ellipsis. So he is the official orator to the council. See, this is how. See, being a responsible official council orator, what types of answer are being given to the one who is asking the help from the Adeniji? See, Obaniji tells that. So I want to close these files. Now, tell me the name of the person who has killed this the student of this Dimok, and Dimok is the person. But what Obane this Adeniji replies is, since you are so clever, he tells him to Obanesi that since you are so clever and so knowledgeable, why don't you find that out yourself? That why do you need me? You are so knowledgeable, you are so sincere. Why don't you find it out yourself that who killed this person? Hmm? Uh, yes, and Obaniji still, he is very humble and very polite in tone that he is telling, please, it's only for the sake of records. Adanadi again goes, then to hell with your records. Huh? Obaniji becomes, please, it is only for the records. Then Adanadi becomes a bit more angry that he says, the hell with your records. Have you no feeling for those who died? Are you just an insensitive, inhuman bloke? I didn't kill them, Obanaji says. And anyway, we have our different views. The world must go on after all this. And let us go to the second character, that is our Rola. Rola, the prostitute, or the courtesan, we can say. Rola, Rola. Yes, so how her character is portrayed. So what she does is first that in her previous life, when she was known as Madame Tortoise and she was the queen of Matakaribu, she was advancing some sexual relationship to the dead man. To the dead man. Right now, he is the dead. And in his previous life, he was alive when he was being invited for sexual pleasure by Madame Tortoise, who is now Rola. But this person denied. And Rola, at that time, Madame Tortoise ordered this person to be killed. And Mata Kharigu, the emperor, does the same. And like when they are pulled for the killing, this historian, this Adenami, yes, Adenami historian is very crooked and he decides, okay, we don't want to kill these people. If they are being banished from this, we can say, this rule of the king, so let us sell them, you know. So he makes this dead man in his previous life that he makes him barge on the sea and where he dies. Okay, so how crookedness is there in this, we can say, character of this Adam's character. Okay, so around 90 references are coming on her name, and let us see how many references are coming on the name of Madame Tortoise. So let us see, Madame, Made space and with capital T, To, Tortoise. So with the name of Madame Tortoise, around 60 or precisely the 66 double six references are coming. Why you don't take it, you don't know of the legendary Madame Tortoise. So now the title is given to her, the legendary Madame Tortoise by Dimo. So now let's move ahead to the third character, that is Egbo. So his character is very interesting. That the way he looks, the way he dons himself, Egborego, Agboreko, fine. So 71 times his reference, his name is coming in the play. So let us go with this. So Egboreko is a person uh, who is very, we can say, pedantic in speech. Time and again, he gives some proverbial things, and this is the thing what makes him this thing like very clever while speaking. uh, Enter Egboreko, elder of the sealed lips. So he is the elder of the sealed lips. So those who are unable to express their feelings, their sufferings, their injustice, many things. They're like we can say their problems. And okay, so Egboreko, he is the elder of the sealed lips. He wears a white egbada and a white wrapper. So what egbada is? Agbada. So it is a Nigerian attire. So you will find it. So let me show you this thing. What Egbada is? Egbada. Let us search it out. Egbada. Like Agbada. Okay. Yeah. Hmm. See now what so it looks like this way in the pilot, like, see, this thing. So this is Egbada. What he wears this, and along with this, he wears a white wrapper, a white WRAP, a white wrapper, and he uh, he carries a clay pot full of millet wine. So he carries a clay pot in which it is to the rim it is filled with the millet wine. All millet we have this wine. A bulky, unhurried man. So his physical, we can say physiological nature is like he is very bulky. He might be very fattest person or very bulky, and he is very unhurried man. So he is at ease all the time. And what he does is, Egboreko, he enters the scene, and what he does, he sprinkles some of the wine at the foot of the tree and leaves the pot beside it. So in his previous life, he was performing the rites in the forests and with the forest spirits. In this life also, he is doing the same. Sprinkles some of the wine at the foot of the tree and leaves the pot beside. It is I. Now he pontificates in his own word, like it is I, Egboreko, Muriate. It is Egboreko that calls you. Ear that never shuts, eye that never closes. Muriate. Egboreko brings you the unhappiness of his children. And now Murity comes, come back later. I have told you the forest is big and I pay no heed to the footsteps of the dead. Now Egborego wants the spirit of the Mureti. M-U-R-E-T, Murete, Murate, many things are there, according to his pronunciation. So he wants her or him to be the part of this joining of this where the dead men are there, and yes. Egboreko, Murit, if the hunter loses his query, so as I told, he was very pedantic. Right now, even he is very pedantic in his wobbles. Like Muret, if the hunter loses his query, he looks up to see where the vultures are circling. Provoked to bones and silence. All right, come back later. I may have learned something then. Murity says, all right. See, is Murity does not feel any like very special heat to his words. So whatever good speech are being made by Egborego, still it is not effectual on Murity. Yeah, Egborego size goes. So size goes. Murity pops up. Now Murity drinks the thing, and this organ makes Murity drink overload. So these things are happening. So what other things are done? Egboreko entering, provoked to bones and silence. He speaks that. Old man says, Egboreko, at last, that you have come. Egboreko, I heard them again. Old man, was there some change? Egboreko says, they noticed nothing. They are so full of themselves and their grievance is the worst possible type to deal with. Now, as Egborego is not having some interest in the duty he is assigned to do, so he tells, okay, so there are, and their grievance is the worst possible type of to deal with. They won't go among the people, will they? Acha, and Egborego, it won't be necessary. Old man says, so they won't go among the people, will they? So the spirits. Egborego says, it won't be necessary. Aroni has taken them under his wing. Now Aroni is protecting him, or the spirits, those who do not want to come in the joining of the spirits, or these two dead people. And anyway, they have met one of their old adversaries, Madame Tortoise. Egborego says, if the flea had a home of his own, if the flea had a home of his own, he wouldn't be out on a dog's back. He wouldn't be out on a dog's back. So he alludes to the deeds of Irony, the spirit of the forest who summons all the spirits together in the joining gathering for the forefathers, the spirits of the forefathers of the villages who are right now living. And okay, yes. And Muret wouldn't take. Okay. DE with capital D E M O K E. Okay. So demo. Yes. So see the number of references we are getting from the demo. It is his name or his reference is coming 122 times. 122 times, 122 times in the play. So what happens that Dimok is the person who is the novice in his previous or former life of Madame Tortoise, who is now Rola, the courtesan. And Dimok in this life kills his disciple out of quiet jealousy that he thinks that okay my disciple Orimol, let me go to his reference as well, Orimol. O-R-E and M-O-L-E. Yes. So Oremole, Oremol. So he is the disciple, and he was killed by his we can say teacher or master, that is Dimok, because Dimok thinks my student Oremol surpasses my skills, so nobody will come to me and they will praise Oremol, so my place will be lost, my status in this tribe will be lost. So I have to kill that person, and he accounts for that later on. So it is the character of Dimok. So we have done with the four characters. So they are there in this present life. So how their occupation is there. So first, let us remind it again. The very first character is Rola. She is a courtesan in the present life, and in her previous life or former life, she was the queen of Mata Karibu Emperor, and her name was Madame Tortoise. Okay, and in the second character, Adenavi, he is now in this life the court counselor or court orator. In his previous life or in his former life in the court of Mata Kharibu, he was a court historian who wanted to sell the dead man and his wife. And he was a slave trader as well. So we can say the side hustle apart from what is being done by the person mainly to show to the world, And what the side hustle is the side occupation, side business we can say of that person. He was a slave trader, the historian as well as the slave trader. Okay, at any rate. And who Akbar Eko was? Akbar Eko in his previous life, he did the same thing, that he performed rituals, rites, and many kind of things. And he summoned, or he talked to the spirits in the forests. And in his present life, he is doing the same. In his former life, he was doing the same. This is Ekbo Eko. Okay, and the fourth character we are having is Demo. So in his present life, he is a carver, and he kills his disciple out of jealousy, named Orimol. So the disciple of Demo is Orimol, and he kills Orimol out of jealousy because he thinks that my status will be lost if Orimal's skills are surpassed in carving the totem. So people will go to him, not come to me. I would like to end this video, and thank you so much. Thank you so much. Yeah.